You're telling me this video did nothing? Come on! So the plot thickens, and the fact I even have to talk about this for a second time is mildly concerning. So about a few months ago, I talked about how there's been a sort of ruckus happening in Southern California, of all places, in what seems like foamers against one engineer. Now I'm not going to really talk about that, go watch the video for yourself, that's just basically the prologue of that. Anyways, ever since that, it seems like, well, foamers are doubling down and making things worse. I can't seem to go in any comment section where videos somehow features said engineer, because we all know what he does, covering his face. I mean, rightfully so, that's his choice. And I go into the comments and, of course, everybody's talking about him. Though, as of now, it seems like people are just saying leave him alone, and rightfully so for that. Believe me or not, and this is gonna sound crazy, being an engineer of any railroad has more value than you and your little iPad filming a train. And that's the point I feel like most people seem to miss. Being a railfan and just filming trains and stuff like that is more on the side of a privilege rather than a right. They could take away said privilege by introducing laws and basically all this stuff that prevents us from even doing such things, but you know, if you're doing that right now, it's a privilege. Be glad that you're able to do that. Don't take it for granted and do some dumb crap which results in new laws or rules being introduced, making it horrible for the rest of us. Like, it's crazy. Also, one thing I honestly should have mentioned a long time ago is that not all engineers or crews are nice. Some are just, not the best. I understood that from quite a long time ago after becoming really a rail fan and recognizing that, well, you're not going to get a horn show every time a train passes, you're not going to get a wave every time a train passes, they'll just ignore you because, well, in all honesty, you're not really that important to them. Like, let's put it into a perspective. These engineers, conductors, and whatnot that take trains, some of them, especially freight, across the country, 12 hours maximum, in that little cab, and you expect them to be happy and give you a horn show just because you're standing there with an iPad or a phone or whatever? No. Okay, yes, I was talking about freight and the topic is really leaning towards more of passenger, but it could still apply here. Amtrak Surfliner, specifically the 700 series trains, go much further distances than, well, the San Diego to Los Angeles 500 trains. I'm not sure if it's the same system fully, but all I know is they serve for a maximum of 8 to 12 hours. So still, even if you have a train and you make it to your destination, you're getting put right onto another train. Anyways, there's another point that I left out until now, and it's getting called in. I made a comment on this whole point, and it's this. In all fairness, if you aren't doing anything remotely dumb, why would you get called in? Okay, after looking at this, yes, there's a little bit of gray area in terms of this, but in general, act civil. That's the whole point of this. You don't want to give them a reason for why you got called in or what you're getting called in for. Because I've known, and I've been told, that like 19 out of 20 times, people have done something which results in getting called in and then acting like nothing happened. Anyway, I'm gonna be very honest with all of you guys. I've been called in about 1.5 times. Now you're probably wondering what the half is for, I'll get onto that. At least for the first one, I was a little close, or rather in a weird area, which prompted somebody in the car going by to call me in. Of course, the cops. Cops came and I, of course, advised them what I was doing and they understood. They just told me to, step back or whatever, something like that. And they went on with their day, I went on with mine. As for the .5, I kinda caught astray. So basically, someone was riding their bike on the platform. They're apparently not allowed to do that. The Go police came, basically Go Transit's own police, came to the scene. They didn't find them, however, they spotted us, and I mean us, there was me and another rail fan. They spotted us, came to us, and they were like, okay, well, actually, they greeted us. I'm just trying to remember this off the top of my head. They greeted us. They're like, okay, I see you're behind the yellow line. You guys are at a safe distance. Won't bother you. Just, stay back, blah, 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 stuff like that. And they went on with their day. We went on ours. So basically, essentially, This entire ordeal is me telling you to just act civil even when circumstances come down to stuff like that. Because 9 out of 10 times, you'll be perfectly fine. But apparently, that's not what I'm hearing in the SoCal situation. It turns out, well, they're doubling down in some sort of way. And that's stupid. In the original video I made a couple months ago, I talked about how the fact that they're trying to get this engineer fired. I'm like, bro, you cannot be this, like, stupid to try and get an engineer who has more value. Again, I'm talking about more value than you, because in this case, to become an engineer is a difficult thing and a long process, and you're gonna try and fire him just because? I hate to break it to you, but they have more authority than you. They could call you in for doing something stupid, which has happened. You could get the cops to show up, which has happened to me and other people, but me, it was a different story. Anyway, the point I'm making here is, again, act civil, don't be a dipshit, don't do anything stupid, don't be a dipshit. Sorry, I ran out of things to say. And 9 out of 10 times, you'll be perfectly fine. Just to remind you, not every crew's perfect, not every crew's happy, and yeah, whatever. Anyway, that's all. Hopefully, after this video, everything will be fine. Please, I'm genuinely tired of this. I'd like to enjoy this hobby without knowing that I'm potentially under the threat of it being a thing of the past because, well, some people decide to do something stupid. Like we already had the derailment, the infamous derailment of Capital City Rail Productions. I don't want anything else. Because I know for a fact the next big thing involving something like this happens, well, all I'm gonna say is things are bound to go under. If that ever happens, which I don't want to happen. Okay, that was a whole yap session, honestly. You might be saying, who are you to say about any of this? A fellow Railfan who doesn't like what has been going on. Anyway, that's it. I'm tired and I'm going to go sleep now. Good night.